Alrighty, Doc here from North America. It is Happy to Hump Day, and we are end of the quarter, end of the half. The markets are just in that incredible nebulous situation at this point, and King Dollar, which I'm not the happiest fan about, doesn't seem to want to stop. It just keeps on rocking along. That's what it does. It just does not stop. It's like the beat goes on. When the central bank, in this case the Federal Reserve, has all the power, and it does, there's nothing but whatever they want is going to be. I think that's the only way we can describe it. So we go with our, Chicago Quant Technologies. We look at what we've set up on J4X over here. You can see the gas we looked at yesterday. Let's put up the the Swiss against the dollar just to give you a flavor of the action that we're seeing there. And it just goes on and on and on and on. And let's go into the Chicago Quant side of this. Where are you, Chicago Quant? There you are. And we're going to get the chat line going. And we're going to get Strings 2021 going. Someone had a very good lecture yesterday on time. They're getting closer to Doc, I can say that. They are getting, I guess I can say they're getting a little bit closer. They start to realize that time is a function that has not been appreciated, I guess you could say, or explored, because they keep on thinking it's just a bunch of finite, compact numbers. But anyway, that's what you're seeing. You're seeing Doc's work in its magic. So let's go over to the chat line and see what we have today. Is anybody here? Can you hear me now? Let's see. Intraday Live. There it is. And let's skip the advertisement. Oh, we see Wilco. Wilco! Welcome to the hood, Wilco. What did I see this morning? More selling. Yeah, we're in the sell still. I should send you something over about that. That's right. For those that are new here, Wilco was a presenter on Dukascopy for a long time, and he got deeply involved in the cryptos years ago. Not like, 6 months ago or 2 years ago. Wilco started right from the beginning. Bitcoin got going, he jumped in. And every other crypto, all the big names, Wilco was there. He's been involved in it. Hey, Janos, how you doing? Was there mechanical problems? And so, and hey, Alan, how you doing? And so, basically, Wilco has been on the forefront of the crypto market, and I believe Dukascopy has a crypto going at this point in time. And so, it's been very interesting. And you can see Bitcoin here on the J4X. Let's see. Let's go just check it out real quick. Yeah, Wilco, they went into they did go into a buy yesterday, and they're already trying to go into the sell. You can see it on the fact check spreadsheet. I'll light it up for you. And I was tempted to send it over to you. I wanted to see what it looked like this morning, and they're already back into the sell. It's like, what? But notice that they're trading in a range. They're building a base. And also, things are getting so nuts. Is that what it is, Janos? It's just very busy, right? Now, could you explain to me, what was the 5-day holiday last week? What was that all about? I was a little confused. I didn't even realize it. I've been so busy myself that it took 2 days before it sunk in. When you said to me, we're closed, I was like, you're closed? And it was like, oh, I'm confused. So, I did the webinars on Monday and Tuesday, and then Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. Midsummer, I like that. Robin and I have been talking about that. We think Chicago Quant should have a 5-day off with Dukascopy. When Dukascopy has off, maybe Doc should have off. Pagan holiday. Go on, Giannis. Go on. Yeah, we're thinking the same thing. We want to be with yous. When you're off, we're off. Well, there's nothing wrong with drinking the fruit of the vine. There's nothing wrong with that. And a feast. Nothing wrong with that either. We're going to go that way on Friday. Matter of fact, I'm going to a party. We're having a cookout where everybody's cooking all kinds of different ribs. It's a competition. And they asked me to build a still. And I said, are you kidding me? If I put together my still, we won't be sober enough to cook the ribs. They wanted me to start making hard alcohol. Borat, how you doing? So, yeah. It is a crazy summer, Wilco. I mean, not counting margaritas. Oh, yeah. We make a margarita mead here. We have a winery. We are legally a winery now here at the farm. We've got our ATF license, the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms license. And they accepted our recipes, and we make a margarita mead. That's one of our #1 meads. We've won contests now all around the country. You know, we're running the mead factory like a scientific project. I'm going to put some pictures up one day. I could probably do it now, but we've got pictures of it and a whole bit going. Yeah. So anyway, don't worry, Wilco. It looks like the cryptos are trapped in a range, and you're at the bottom end of the range right now. That's all it comes down to. Yeah, let's jump into the markets here. So I just wanted to show Dukascopy's Bitcoin, and then we'll go from there. It's the last one down. There it is, right there, and you can see it with the fast and the slow moving stochastics. Excuse me. Right there. I haven't started drinking yet. That could be Friday. And so that's where we are at the moment. And then at the same time, let's jump over to it right here real quick, and then we're going to go over to the currencies. Where's that? We're looking at that one right there, I think it is, yeah? Yeah, it's the July one. And what we did is we jumped into the almost buy. I guess it was, there was no red dot there, so I had a buy, and this line was through it. And now we're pressing right back down again. And so you can see the weakness in our Chicago quant. We're still in a weekly sell now for like 12 weeks right there, you can see. And we're already back into the sell side of this because they've removed the dot. I thought there was a good action there. You know, ran up to the 37,000 area, I guess it was. So that's not too bad. Let's look at it on J4X. Where's that mouse at? Right there. Yeah, so we're almost up to the 37,000 area on the Bitcoin. So now let's jump back over to the currencies. Unless someone wants to see more, we can explore this whatever way you want to go. But in the end result is that the cryptos have the central banks all trapped. You know, they don't know how to get out of that. So what they're doing is they're damaging everything else. In other words, they're destroying price discovery. I think yesterday I described it. They're destroying price discovery so that the dollar can be strong. And the interest rates can be close to zero here in the States, and that's because they're borrowing. They're borrowing everything they can to they're just floating money out of thin air. And the leftists in our country think this is a recipe to reality, and it's not. They're losing every election for the last 6. They've only won 3 elections, and it's been a landslide for Republicans now for over a year and change. And the only 3 elections they stole the best of was the presidency and 2 senatorial seats. And now all those states have changed the rules. I heard yesterday South Dakota sent its National Guard, you know, the military, down to the border. The states are moving around the federal government right now. And they're moving away from the federal government and doing their thing. And they're routing around Biden, and the markets know it, because that's why they're sideways and they're not crashing. That's exactly what's going on. Let's see. Okay, I'm reading Wilco. Okay, and there we drink beer, grill meat, and build fires. Sounds like a normal day around here at the farm. The whole nation, like the capital, is almost empty. Sounds good to me. I see all these pictures of not Gilda. What's wrong with my brain this morning here? I haven't been able to. Polina. I see pictures of Polina. She's like on vacation. So Polina's like, you know, Let me see if I can find a picture of it here. I'm wondering about that 5-day thing. It was like, what's that all about? But anyway, the markets are trapped in the summer malaise, trapped in with the Federal Reserve trying to keep interest rates low so that the socialists in power at the moment can borrow as much money and change as much. They want $6 trillion to spend. They're not going to get $6 trillion. No one in their right mind is going to give them $6 trillion. But they constantly play that game, and you got to imagine that the world is trapped with what's the word I'm looking for here? Trapped with the socialists in our country. And there's Polina. I said to Polina yesterday, I said, is that like a key to your heart? But she's been sending out pictures like that lately. It sounds like she's on holiday with everybody else, so that's pretty cool. As far as I'm concerned, every day should be fires, food, so forth. All right, let's jump over to the euro and see what the euro is up to this morning. The euro's like everything else; they're all getting pressed down by King Dollar. It's getting and how many years? I mean, Doc does not support the wild strength of the dollar. I always say I do a webinar and it's Eurocentric. In other words, I look at the markets from like as if I'm not living in the States. And how many times do I really talk about King Dollar? You know, Giannis, I mean, when's the last time I really started talking about King Dollar? I mean, like almost never. It's at the point now where they're pressing the dollar so hard. And you can see here's the euro and the pressure on it. And they're trying to take out this low. I'm not even sure if they can. It's just that the action that we're seeing by the central banks now is just as obnoxious as the action we saw when the Democrats stole the presidency and the 2 Senate seats. And those states are replacing their machines. Arizona yesterday stripped, 2 days ago, the Secretary of State's powers, the state Senate did. See, we're moving to the state power again. And they stripped the Secretary of State of Arizona of her power, and they've removing the machines, and they did their audit, and they saw 150,000 votes that made no sense. And the way we work in the United States is that, all right, if you steal an election, you steal an election, but you're not going to be allowed to do it again. And that's what's going on there. Oh, hey, 47. Let's check it out. The cable against the yen. Let's check that out this morning. Cable against the yen. Right there. See, and it's pretty much this action is the King Dollar, you know. And the rationale of it all is that you have Mrs. Yellen, who was the former Fed chair, who tried. I mean, it's obvious the former Fed chair as Secretary of Treasurer now, who's actually a little bit stronger than the Federal Reserve with that power. She is trying to make the world raise interest rates, or in this case, what is it? Raise capital gains. She wants the world to do it as a unison. They're not going to do it. It's an insanity. These leftists are out of their minds. I mean, they do this stuff, and they actually think that they're going to get away with it. They're not. You're going to see a change in the government here in the United States on the federal level over the next I guess it's the next year. Where we're at now, July, right? So the elections are a year and 3 or 4, like 3 months away, but you're going to see major changes. Every election, the Republicans win. They've been winning. They even won seats in California. We don't win seats in California. Republicans are winning them there even. I mean, I understand all along the southern border, Democrat towns are now voting Republican. They've been electing Republicans. The media is hiding it. It's insanity. And so you're feeling it when you look at the markets. You're seeing it when you're looking at the markets. But you know, since we don't have a media anymore that reports information, you know, it's a little confusing. You think, oh, I guess the Americans are going in this new direction. It's like, no, we're not going in this destroy, you know, fundamentals. Let's destroy, you know, how to understand earnings and inflation. I saw the Russian Federation raise their rates yesterday. They were like, we don't believe the Federal Reserve. We think that inflation is not a transitory situation. And that's exactly what's going on there. Okay, let's see. So we showed that. Okay, Wilco's saying gold. We'll jump over to gold. Let's jump over to gold. It's just that there's a lot of strange stuff going on right now, and you know how connected Doc is. So, it's hard for me not to talk about it and correlate it to the marketplace. You can see here we got a green dot yesterday, but we're still in a daily sell. I mean, we've been in a daily sell. We're in a weekly sell when it comes to gold. Let's give it a refresh. But overall, the pressure is on. And I would have to say that one of the casualties, one of the injuries of the Federal Reserve's actions is the metals market. I've said this so many times in the webinars. If you'd asked me in 2007, a year before the destruction of the world financial system and the beginning of QE, where would gold be to Doc if you described what's going on today? I would have said, $5,000-$10,000 an ounce. And what do we see it at? $1,757 an ounce. So, this is one of the casualties. Let's see, the gold. Okay, Alan says, Monsieur Papazou, it's just like they took out Australian Prime Minister Harold Holt. Yeah, I would imagine so. And McPhee, I guess that Saddam and Gaddafi too. The list of messing with the U.S. dollar. Yep, exactly. It says Alan says, Doc, I'm very interested in shorting the S&P 500. And what's the chart saying? Let's go check that out. Oh no doubt about it. I mean, why do you think Mr. Putin has had a problem, and why he's in Crimea? It's because of Mrs. Clinton and Mr. Obama threatened and tried to overthrow him, just like Gaddafi and so forth. And then what happened was he moved troops into Crimea, claiming that they were, rebels or something like that. And then he admitted that it is. And then Mr. Obama did nothing. And look what happened. He got rid of Gaddafi. Mrs. Clinton and him got rid of Gaddafi. They have now a modern slave market in Libya. I mean, and the media doesn't talk about it here in the United States whatsoever. Okay, here's the S&P 500. As you can see this morning, we were flirting with, let's widen that out, we were flirting with the daily sell. You can see it. The line is actually underneath right now live, minus 67, 0.67. You can see a red dot forming. We are at the end of the quarter and end of the half. You can see the weekly is trying to roll over again. It went into the weekly buy last week. It's trying to roll over. Unfortunately, the longer the Federal Reserve plays these games, we're going to be in a situation where when it does start to fall apart, it's going to fall apart fast. This is a binary / option position you want to put on. You really want to put something on in that universe, because that's going to be the because when it hits us, you're going to have like 20 minutes to get involved. It's going to move so fast because there's going to be like the way the COVID was. They're just going to be slamming the daylights out of it. Hey Moses, how you doing? Yen dollar. Yeah, let's shoot over to the yen dollar. That's in a daily sell too right now, I noticed. It's up on the fact check spreadsheet. We're in a weekly buy and a daily sell. See, we've been in a weekly buy since here, the, what is that, the 108 area, right? The 108.7 area. And we've gone up to, so far, to the 111-ish, a little better 11-ish area. And we slid into daily sell there yesterday, or I'm sorry, what was that, 2 days ago now. And you can see it on fact check over on line, what is it, it's 19, right? Yeah, 19 right there. So you see 6 weeks in a buy right there, and you can see 2 days in a sell. And that's the action we're starting to see in the yen, which seems to me like it's plateauing, at the moment. That's the way it looks to me. It looks like it's trying to plateau more than anything else. In other words, it's just going sideways. The one thing I had an attitude about yesterday was, I was thinking, normally major markets top in August, like, first and second week of August. Crash of 87, topped out August 1st. Yeah, I mean August like 12th or something like that. The the explosion of August the monster market move, August of '82, started in August. In other words, they start in August, and I'm thinking to myself, are they going to start in July this year? I don't know why I thought about. I said it yesterday in the webinar. I was like, maybe it's going to start in July. Maybe it's not going to start in August this year. I don't know. I mean, maybe after the first half, which is today's the last day, and we'll have half the year done, and then we'll see what they do with the markets. But it wouldn't surprise me if we started to get into, like I saw. Let me show you the Russell 2000. I posted it yesterday somewhere. I forget. Oh, I know. I posted up on my LinkedIn. The Russell is is trying to make some type of smash, some type of, it's starting to do some type of thing there, let me just show you that. Let's see. That's it right there. There we go. And so 1, 2. I'm just counting this. Let's put Russell up there. I think it's well worth looking at because they're starting to put a little pressure into that. No doubt, the Federal Reserve can easily lend money to people for it to start buying it. But you can see here, it went into a buy here. I guess it was right here. It went into the buy there. 2 weeks in a buy, went into a sell, went into the buy. It started to do that hesitation stuff again like it did right before this, before that slide. And now we're second day in a sell. We're underneath the weekly. And so that says a lot, Let's see. Borat says, Doc, if it was weekly buy and daily sell in the yen, right? Yeah, like the way it is now. What is the recommendation action here? Stand to the side. Unless you're some type of producer or a bank that needs the inventory, it means be neutral. Oh, here we go. Sorry about that. There it is there. So, yeah, that's what that means. It means to be neutral. Should we sell short term or should we wait till weekly and dailies? Well, when you're trading options and, be it binaries or straight options, you can try to play the short term like that, especially when you see the let's go back to the yen. Especially if you see like the white line dip like this on the weekly, or let's go back further. You can, if it's just drops below the time manifold. That's what the time manifolds are there for, to show the weakness. See how it's in a weekly buy here. We go into a daily sell there, and the time manifold starts to drop underneath the weekly. You can try to play the short term. But it's not recommended to be a hard delta. It has to be a soft delta because you can get pops and get stopped out. Does that make sense to you? So does that do you understand how that works there? And that's how we play that. So let me know about Borat if that makes sense to you. But that's how you play that. It's a soft delta versus a hard delta. This way, if you just short, if you're shorting the cash, you could get accidentally stopped out, and then the thing keeps on falling, and then you don't benefit from it. And you're like, oh man, I was right, but I didn't have enough capital, or I had too big a position on. Okay, excellent. That's exactly what it comes down to. That's why we always say, unless you're a producer or a provider or an institution that's trading, you need the inventory, be it grains, currencies, metals, whatever. You have, as a trader, as a proactive trader like ourselves, then what you do is you have 3 positions you can be in. You can be long, you can be short. Doc's math says to be long. It'll say when to be short, and it will say when to be neutral. And the yen is telling you right now, neutral. Okay? With a hard delta. And that's what that is. Oh, you can have as many questions as you want. There are no dumb, stupid questions in trading. None. All questions are real and good. Okay? There only is a short answer or a long answer. That's all there is. Okay? So in other words, the answer itself describes how important a question is versus how less important in trading question is. That's all. Nothing more than that. I don't have access to your BOT bot that we see now, but I am assuming it also works on the strategy you showed on J4X. Yes, what we do on J4X, if you're not using Chicago Quant, we're using a fast stochastic against a slow stochastic. I'm going to put up the parameters of it right now for you so you can read it. It has a correlation to my math of around 68%. And so there is the, what is that? That is the fast stochastic, and we're using a 5 and a 3 and the SMA, okay? And then, cancel. Then we go and we do the slow stochastic, and we do the 5 and the 3 in the SMA, and then we do a, the slow D is a 3 also, and it's the high-low. I'm sorry, low-high. Okay? And then what we do is we use the Hinky-Ashke bars, and they have about a 4-hour delay. Let's see if we can put the inputs in there. There they are. And it shows the products on all indicators. Show indicator on all products, like that. And base period, none. Okay? And that's what we use on J4X. If you're in the middle of the trading day, you know, you can use it, you know, as an intraday, like, you know, put a 1 hour up there. You can see it gets a little sloppy at times. I mean, you know, it breaks down, we're still in the greens, and it climbs back up, and you can get the momentum out of it. They're all right, you know. I mean, it's a good tool. Let's put it this way: it's the best public tool out there you can have. Okay, I created a short-term strategy on Forex last week. Excellent. Yeah, you know, it's a good one. I won some contests using some of these parameters with Dukascopy. And you know, they're good tools. They're good tools. You can look it up as DocDow, you know, and see I won a bunch of the contests being first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh, and so forth. So, they're good tools. And that's why we have J4X up there to show you that you can get a decent, and let me just reiterate, what market technicians associations claim are lagging indicators, we can make them leading indicators by changing the way you measure them. And things like MACD are a lagging indicator, and we've had MACD up on the machine on J4X showing you how it's behind the accuracy of the way we use them. Yeah. Cool. Cool. I haven't done a contest in a long time. You know, it's, you know, I got other things going on at the moment. It's just more busier. So, but that's the name of the game there. So, all right, now let's see, where are we at? We just did the yen, right? We did the yen for you. So that's in a neutral at the moment on a hard delta. Let's jump over to Turkish lira. You see the Turkish lira is trying to go into the daily sell here. Keeps on banging against our little yellow dotted lines and stalls out. I keep on thinking it wants to explode through it one day. Then we look at the euro against the Turkish lira, and that also has been pressured down, you know, same way, and it's flirting with the weekly sell right here. We'll see how that plays out. Yeah, I haven't done stuff in like I guess about 17 or 18 or 19, 20, 19, 18, something like that. It's been a while. Yeah, 16, 17, stuff like that. It was fun. Instead, I built my own robots for my systems instead, and I've just been running them off that. So. Let's see, where else are we at? So I think that's the answer to that one. Let me think. I figured I created enough trail where you could see that it didn't have. I just didn't do it 1 month. It went on for like a year and a half. So that means, yeah, we can keep on doing it if we want to. Exactly, and I've just made robots for my Chicago Quant instead. All right, where do we go from here? Oh, Canadian. Check out the Canadian. Unless someone wants to see something, we'll go over to Canadian. But you can see Canadian, like everything else, the King dollar is pressuring everything at this point. So you can see there, it hit buy for a couple days. Let me put the little dot line up right there. King dollar is been in a weekly buy from here on the Canadian. They're just, the King dollar is just is on a maniac run at this point. I don't think it's any other way to describe it, but it's like a maniac run. It doesn't seem to want to give up, and they need it. They need it. The Mrs. Yellen and Mr. Biden need interest rates to stay low, to try to convince people that they can borrow do you believe that? They want to borrow $6 trillion. They're going to make more people on welfare than people working. That's what they want. They want to they're trying to turn this into some type of socialist dream. $6 trillion. I mean, if we had a media that would talk about it, there'd be like 90% of the Americans would be against it. Right now, there's something like 75% of the Americans are against it. I mean, honestly, some of the insanity that these socialists in the United States have, the thirst that they have for socialism. I guess it's because we have, we're so rich a country, they think that we can do anything. It's not. There's nowhere on the planet that socialism has worked, and they keep on. I mentioned this before in Wired magazine. Even they said if only Joe Stalin had computers, he could have made socialism work. Yeah, instead of killing like 36 million, he would have killed like 110 million. Honestly, he would have doubled the amount of people he killed if he'd had computers. Oh my God. Honestly, they would have had a wonderful socialism. They would have killed almost everybody, and then they would have just been themselves. Then they would have had slavery or something like that. Yo, Robin. See, I'm getting things done at the same time there. Up to 11. See that, Robin? Up to 11 now. So, yeah, the world is feeling the effect of our politics now on such a grand scale. It's insane. Just insane. And the question is, how long can this last? I thought when I saw the Russian Federation yesterday, the bank came out and said that inflation is not we don't believe it's transitory. In other words, it's not just going to disappear in a month and a half. I really thought, wow, you got some adult supervision there. I know things are tough. I know things are crazy in the Russian Federation, especially with, our Democrats trying to basically overthrow Mr. Putin and so forth. But honestly, it's just crazy stuff. Just crazy stuff. And the world is feeling it. That's the problem, is that the world is feeling this, and it's like it doesn't, it's overinflating. I've talked about it. We have an asset inflation going on, and probably the currencies are the best place to trade because of that. And so that's where we're at the moment there. Let's see what Borat says. Doc, the strategy AM testing for a buy is as follows. Can you please confirm if logic is correct? Let's see. So, 1, stochastics fast, weekly is above stochastics slow, and hinky ashy candle is green on daily. Right. Stochastics fast crosses such. Right, exactly. That's it. And so, in other words, in the case of, let's go over to here. The only problem is, like I said, it makes a lag on it. So, like on a weekly basis, you're going to feel a couple days of lag. So, like right there, the Swiss. Let's see how it is compared. Usually, there's like a week later, something like that. It's not. I wouldn't be that brave about using the weekly. Now in this case, that's not too bad because we're 4 weeks into it now on our work, and over here you're 3 weeks into it here. Okay, see it misses it by a week, but on a daily basis you can get away with it much better. See, like right there. Now it's been in a daily buy for 3 days here, and on the Swiss. Okay, yeah, so it's 3 days right here, so that's good. That works out better. And you can see it's just cutting across the line, see? Right here where it's a lagging behind on that. So just 1 week, trying to start a second week, and you're a week behind with the white lines. So the further out you go, you probably want to use it more on an hourly and a daily than you do like a weekly and a daily. You see what I'm saying there? Gold explains it all. Logic is out the door. Yeah, totally. China buys gold. U.S. citizens, crypto algorithms. Yeah. Yeah, I would steer clear of the weekly, using the J4X, and just go more short. The shorter, more term, the more accurate it's going to be. So if you're doing like 4 hour, 1 hour, 4 hour, 1 day, that's probably a better tool. Like I said, it'll have a correlation in the 60s to my math, but that's got to be at least 20 or 30% better than the MACDs and all that other stuff that they have out there. Yeah, and you can back test it yourself. Keep on back testing it. Try like a 1 hour and a 4 hour and things like that. That probably, in some ways, will be the better way to go. And imagine if you're really sure, depending on your time frame. Yeah, definitely ignore the weekly. Let's see what a 4 hour looks like. So you can see here, it broke through it 4 hours ago. And broke down early here. Unfortunately, it spikes here. Again, the shorter term is going to be more accurate. It's going to be, like I said, around 69. I always have about a 68% average, it seems like. It fluctuates in there. So, because remember, Hinky-Ashki is a delayed. So it's only confirming like part of our dot situation there. And that's, can I get a 4 hour? Let me see if I can get a 4 hour on this. See how it looks. File copy window. Let's go over to that file paste window. Let's turn that format instrument, and we're going to remove that. Yes. Okay, that's good. Let's cancel the 3.5. Remove the 3.5. Indicator. No. Okay, close. Let's bring that down like that. And then let's do this format instrument. Okay, so that's there now. Okay, now let's format the instrument to a 4 hour chart. Let's see how this fills in. And it's backloading it now. We can shrink it down a little bit just to get a more short term. See how that goes. I've just cut it in half. We'll let that fill in. It should pop in there any second now. I think we'll reduce it down one more time, and you'll be able to cross match it to, let me do that. Let me just cut it down one more time here. Let's see, right there, and right there. Okay, there it is right there. Okay, so you can see they both joined in. Let's see, where is it at? Let's see if we can do this. Bring this down a little bit like that, and bring this up a little bit like that. As you can see here, the 4 bars, and you can see it's matching up on a much better short-term basis. You can see we were in a buy throughout all this. Let's see if we can bring this, scrunch this up maybe. I don't know if we can do this, something like that. I guess that's the way to look at it. There's the date. Let's see, that's going back to June 25th. And so you can see here's June 25th here. And our work, you know, this is, let's see, let me just go put that in there again. Or we can shrink this a little bit more. Okay, so June 25th right there. See the bottom? What is that date right there? 1300 on the 25th. And you see right there, that is 1700 US our time on the 25th. You see they bottom out together, and the only difference is that you can see this zigzags through a little bit and gives you pressure here. Okay, and our work kept us in the long all the way through all this, whereas this put it underneath a little bit. Then they both join in right here on the, what's that, the 29th, and this was there's the 29th also right there, breaking down. And we just go down for 1 bar. This is down for 3 or 4 bars, 3 bars at least, from here, here, and here for 3. So that's a 4-hour. Everything. Just imagine there's like a 4-hour lag going on with that. Let's see. So let's see. Borat said, let me just go look at, make sure everybody's happy here. Yeah, China buys gold. U.S. citizens buying cryptos. They're buying it all. Robin's a silver buyer, and you know, there's constant delays about it. You know, Robin's always in there saying, "Oh man," you know, and the silver dealers refuse to sell for the price that it's trading at the exchange physically. They want like what is it, Robin? It's like marked up, right? Like, you know, $6-7 more or something like that. Let's see. So Borat says, so we should ignore weekly then and only focus on daily, stochastic, and Hinky-Ashi, right? And also think about a 4-hour chart also. Okay, stochastic, okay, I will try 4-hour and 1-hour, exactly. Yes, both together. You'll have to do the research on your machine and see your data feed and see how it works. Let me know tomorrow. See how the 1-hour and 4-hour look. You'll be able to tell, because you'll have success rate. In other words, you'll see the win-lose. And so it'll put you in a better position. Like I said, the worst it does, I would say, is it lags my work by about 4 hours. That's not too bad. $40, yeah. Yeah, so in the States, Wilco, that's why they're going after cryptos, because they can't even, it's so hard to buy physical for the exchange price. Doc, how is the commodities doing? Oh, they're running like mad animals, basically. I mean, we've got, we got one client that follows this one thing called TAG. It's a really interesting ETF. I'll show it to you right here. Right there, tags, and it's a let's see if we can get the update today, and it is soybeans, corn, and wheat, and sugar. It's just 4 commodities. Fascinating product, and it seems to have a good predictability. It's right there all the time. It's right in it. Now they haven't made a trade yet in it today, in the pre-market, but it's going to be interesting there. And so commodities. Matter of fact, we have was it JO? Let me save this, and then JO is coffee. Coffee's like running very firm, and then we see all the beans and corn, and meal's been weak, soybean meal, but overall nothing major. Let me save this one too. Let me just see if I can get an update on it. Just double check it. Regular trading hours. Let's see if we can get the pre-market in there. Yesterday we had the pre-market. Today they're not doing it. Alright, let me just save this anyway. And so, commodities are, I just went to look for ribs. They want $5.99 for ribs that are normally going for $1.99. So we're seeing some price inflation here in the States. Now pork loin, we're normal price. So it's just a supply and demand problem at the moment. But it's not, look, I think the Russian Federation made the wise choice yesterday to raise rates a little bit. Something's going on there. Let's see, Doc, just to wrap up my query up, when do we get out of the long as it's in its same logic in reverse? You just take a profit, that's all. When it starts to break down, you just take profits. If you take profits all the time, you're going to make money. Try not to hit a home run every time you make a trade. That's the best answer I have for it. Money management. Let's see. Wilco says, didn't wood prices go all the way up? Yeah, they went to like $16 or $17 a board foot. It was insane. Now it's back down to about $10. Yeah, it's crazy. Just crazy stuff. We just keep on seeing it go on and on and on and on. We just keep on seeing the stranger. Look, we are in the twilight zone. I've been saying that for so long, and I've been doing these webinars complaining about it for so long, and that's really what it all comes down to. And the end result is that, they're wrecking fundamentals. Janos did webinars talking about fundamentals, and how to read the fundamentals, how to trade the fundamentals. They've turned them upside down. They're just not legitimate anymore. The fundamentals have been, hammered because the central banks across the planet, led by the Federal Reserve of the United States, is skewing price discovery. They want it to be all over the place. No problem, Bo Rap. Come in tomorrow and tell us how you made out when you did all the back testing. Remember, traders need to back test every day. It could be 10 minutes, it could be 10 hours. But you need to back test every day, just like a professional athlete. If you don't back test, then what happens is that it's like a major athlete. Not you think that the English who beat the Germans last night, didn't practice every day? They practice every day. Traders have to do the same thing. Let's see, what is that? Tom, I saw Bloomberg. You can't even trust Bloomberg anymore. Are not reflecting hardware real building costs, just like when crude went negative. Yeah, exactly. They're part of the six controlled by the Democrats. Bloomberg is controlled by the Democrat Party. So, that's what the problem is that we're in an era where information is not getting out. They just don't report it. That's all. They don't talk about it. And but with the internet, people are hearing what's going on. People are seeing what's going on. And so that's why the elections are proving it. And like I said, they only won 3 seats, and they stole them so blatantly that it's not going to happen again. The states are taking the power that they have. The states are more powerful than the federal government. It's just the states have gotten lazy, like any politician. They decided, let the feds do it. We don't get blamed. We get elected all the time. Well, guess what? People are now blaming the local state senators and the state assemblymen who are like the congressmen. They're blaming them and saying, you got to straighten this federal government out or we're going to vote you out. And that's what's happening. And you're not seeing where states are flipping and changing things. Like I said, there are a bunch of states now that are sending their National Guards down to the border. You know, Biden might not be sending the National Guard there, but the states are. And so, you know, we've got dozens of states now doing their job. And sooner or later they're going to get, matter of fact, some of them have even passed laws where they want the states to invest in gold and not into federal bonds. They're doing that even. You're not hearing that in the news. You're not hearing that at all. Wilco says, does it come with messages after all those back tests? What do you mean messages? Well, what happens is you see if something makes money or it doesn't make money. And what happens is that if you keep on back testing, you're always going to be in tune to what's making money versus what's not. Yeah, we had to try to go into a sell yesterday. And then last night, like around 6 o'clock in the evening, they changed it out of nowhere. Check out copper. Now it's 7. You can see it on this fact check spreadsheet. Where is it at? Line 8, right there. 4 weeks in a buy, 7 days in a buy. Check out copper. At 4:30 in the afternoon, after the New York closed, they had it in a sell with a little red line. Out of nowhere, they put a bunch of data in, and now it hasn't even remotely gone below the zero line. By 6 o'clock last night, we were in a buy again. It was, as a matter of fact, they wiped out the sell altogether. You can see that there. Now, at the same time, we're stuck in a neutral. We're in a weekly sell. We've been in a weekly sell since the 460 area, right? Now we're in like we got down to what, 415? Something like that, 414 low, right? And, you know, we went into a sell for a couple of days. They go into the buy from the 420 area, and here we are at 433, and we're also at the same time stuck. We're in a neutral right there. So we're in a weekly sell and a daily buy. Let's see. Hey, middle age. Let's see. We had some technical difficulties this morning, but we got it all straightened out. Things are coming through now. Matter of fact, why don't I do this? Where is it at? There it is, right there. Let me cancel that. We'll have yours over in the next few minutes. So middle age says, I know the King weekly quant is negative in silver, but thinking about the very short-term trade, if the daily quant goes green, along with a close, it did. Did you see silver? Silver went into a daily buy last night. Or no, it was, yes, no. It's doing it today. That's what it is. See it right there? It's trying to get into a daily buy, but we're in a weekly sell. So, along with close above 26.50. You know, at this point, you know, you could probably think that it's going to go challenge this top here, maybe something like that. I think that's pretty much about it. I mean, the fact that it's in the weekly sell and all like that, you know what I mean? Haven't looked at the oil for a while, but my gas is getting way too expensive, so might need to get back in. Yeah, I hear you there. Crude oil went into a daily sell yesterday, and you can see it's still pressured here, but we got a green dot and it's above yesterday's close. But we're in a weekly buy, so you can't short it. You're just waiting for the next signal for when it's going to take off again. That's pretty much what it comes down to. So let's see, where are we at here? So we got to 15, so 16. Let's do that. And yeah, and so that's the crazy of it all. That is really what the crazy it is. We see the prices going up, and the central bank tries to tell us, don't look behind that curtain. There's nothing to see. And you know how Doc is. Doc gets even more nuts over this stuff. You know, I just like, you know, there's no way I'm going to project, you know, things that don't make money. I'm going to talk about what makes money, and that's just the way it goes, you know. I mean, that's just the way we are here. And natural gas, you see natural gas? Let me see, we're on that page. So check out the natural gas. I mean, it's in a sell for natural gas. I mean, it's been running like a mad animal. It's been in a weekly buy now. What is that? Line 10 on the fact check. 11 weeks now in a weekly buy. You know, from the two somethings. We went into a weekly buy at 280. Aren't we at 380 now or something like that? What is that? Yeah, we're challenging 380. It's gone up a 30. What's that? 33%, 60%. What's that? A full dollar from 280 to 380 is like, you know, a monster move. It's just flat out a monster move. It went up 50% more of its value. And it just and the central banks want to walk around and tell us that there's no inflation. Yeah, no inflation. I hear you. Sure, there's no inflation. As Wilco confirms it, and everybody else, I'm paying 3 something a gallon now for fuel, you know, to feed the car. And before I was paying $1.80 something, $1.70 something. So yeah, they've lost their mind, and they're out of control. These central banks, and they've made the king dollar so obvious that it's hurting other currencies, or let's put it this way, it's moving on non-fundamental facts. That's for sure. We know that. We know that for a fact. But then they skew the facts now. So, you know, what can you do? What can you say? You know what I mean? Yeah, I know. I can't go below zero. Oh no, we've seen that. We've seen oil go below zero. Remember? People wouldn't take delivery, so they drove the price to a point where they, you know, they had no choice altogether but to do something like that. They like to just pretend. That's all it comes down to, is pretend, and then pretend again. And that's all they keep on doing, is pretending. And traders know better. They know not to trust this insanity. You know, I mean, you just gotta. I mean, if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, chances are it's a duck. Here you go. There goes coffee and tags going out the door. All right, where are we at now? I guess we're at the end of the road here on the conversation, aren't we? 30 middle age. What kind of price do you think would get the weekly silver positive again? Robin says 30. I'm just so fed up with the central banks and how they abuse everything, you know? It's so hard to say. You know, I don't have any faith in the central banks being honest anymore. You know, I just don't. It's just unfortunate. Just is what it is at this point. But I don't have any confidence at all. I don't have a price tag. All right, well, Doc's going to jump out of here. This is Doc from North America. Everybody have a safe and a smart day. Let's see, what's this? Robin says... Oh, yes, that's right. You got the oil market, 30 or 40. Wouldn't that be nice? Silver probably should be 70 right now. In my head, silver should be at least 65, 70. Gold should be at least 5,000. Let's put it this way: even at a discount, it should be at 3,000. That's the way I see it. But it should really probably be in that area, and we're not seeing that at all. And that's what the problem is. That is what the problem is. So, alrighty. This is Doc. We will catch you tomorrow on the same time, same channel. Happy trails to you. If we all lived in Lafayette and had a whole week off. Happy trails to you, to all our cyber trading friends. Next year, we're doing 5 days off with you. Maybe we fly over and just party for 5 days. All right, Doc here saying arrivederci.